Hi everyone, Premier League is back and we are on with a bang for the game week 2 Liverpool versus Burnley. What a game. Liverpool thrashed Burnley, I'll say 2-0. It was supposed to be a tough game, but they had the support of the whole cops at the Anfield, which was buzzing again with fans at full capacity. So we're here. This is a first video for tactical analysis of the Liverpool versus Burnley game. We're going to do loads of more of these tactical game analysis for the Premier League and other Champions League games as well. This is the first video. So yeah, hit the like button, support us, subscribe to our channel if you like this. Let's get started without any delays. With me, I have Archit Saha, a fellow Arsenal fan. Not the best start they had, but yeah, he's here to join us and give us his insights on this match. And I'm Shaurya Panpalia. Again, I'm a big United fan, so yeah, we had quite a decent start, and yeah, our biggest rivals did so. They are on the trot with two victories on the trot. Liverpool 2-0. Your thoughts, Archit?
Hi Shaurya, I hope everyone. Hi everyone. So as Shaurya said, I am a big Arsenal fan. I've been supporting them since like 2010, 2011, and like seeing Arsenal right now is just what should I say, depressing. Okay, so like seeing those highs of Wenger era and what should I say, like classic Wenger ball, then Sanchez, Ozil, Cazorla, like from moving magic now to Arteta's haram ball. So just
Right.
it's just crushing. It feels crushing. So yeah, like I would say, like Liverpool just absolutely crashed Burnley. I saw the match live, and it was just Burnley's defense got just ripped apart.
Right.
Sean Dyche, yeah, I would just say Klopp just outmastered Sean Dyche.
He
So
did.
not wasting any time, I think we should get into the game, I guess.
Surely. Uh, yeah. I'll. So we'll do one thing. We have this tactical board. I hope this is visible. Right. So, Archit, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Sorry for the disturbance. So okay. Let me
Yeah. Go on, take over the analysis. How do you think Liverpool started with the press? What do you think was
Okay, let's firstly let's see the formation out there. So we
right?
had actually Liverpool started with a 4-3-3 formation
Right.
in which Naby Keita, Henderson, and Elliot. Like I haven't seen Elliot play much, or I don't know, but
Right.
in, Naby Keita, like as if the formation said, like Naby Keita and Henderson on the like Henderson was occupying the middle, but as the game went on, we saw more and more Keita coming in on the middle and Henderson pushing on the left side.
Right.
So that is one thing we saw, and and Liverpool were starting with a very high line from the defense. Like they were all just pushing up,
Totally.
and totally, and yeah,
So I
and about
Liverpool started very no, very shaky. They were quite shaky at the start. Burnley were pushing up high. They had a dynamic midfield with Dwight McNeil, Chris Wood combining real good, and and they were totally isolating Matip and Van Dijk, the two, and it was a perfect two versus two we do situations for Burnley. And the midfielders weren't tracking back for Liverpool as much as we would have seen wanted to see Jordan Henderson and Nemikita do. So it was quite a really shaky start from Liverpool in the early 25 minutes. And so these two versus two we do situations just caught Liverpool off guard and created those situations that we saw in the first 25 minutes. Burnley had what like 3-4 shots in the early 30 minutes, in the early 25 minutes, just because of this two we do situations which Liverpool just can't handle at the start. So it was a bright start from Burnley, I'll say. A much better start than Liverpool had.
absolutely agree. Like what happened, like as you said, um, Lawton out there, like this guy. I just can't pronounce his name. Okay, so sorry for that. But Lawton and like this seven guy. what they were doing is like pushing from this wing, and from
Right.
here McNeil and uh, sorry, and like Taylor wasn't pushing much high, but uh,
Yeah, I
McNeil
think
was just
Taylor was actually when he got into near the box, he was quite good with his. We saw some of his flares with his with nutmegs and dribbles around the box, and yeah, nearly caught Liverpool off guard. Dwight McNeil, especially with that run off to the byline and then crossing of for Chris Wood over here. It was literally Liverpool were off pace in the first half. I'll say, but they yeah, just because they just struck after the second half started. So after the second half was a totally different ball game. I think Liverpool just came out totally changed. They dominated the ball, they dominated the midfield, and they dominated everything. And Burnley were the ones who looked shaky going into the second half.
absolutely, like I would say, like in the first half, what Burnley's tactics were actually spot on. Like they know, like Burnley can never outclass Liverpool. Liverpool has just class, the flair, the players, everything, and they
Right.
have a great coach. Burnley just can't overplay Liverpool, so they
Surely.
did exactly what they should. They played through long balls
Long
and
balls.
Barnes and Wood.
Yeah.
Like I think what like you see from here, like Lawton and like from here McNeil or Taylor were crossing in balls.
Right.
But even though in two v two situations, like you don't see uh, Trent Alexander Arnold uh, dropping deep or something. Like he was staying wide, like not
Right.
dropping much deep, or Simikas also not dropping much deep.
Yeah,
So it was
they
more
weren't
overall, yeah,
dropping it.
yeah. And these two midfielders, Cork and Ronald, they were just doing fantastic job in keeping the steal in the
Right.
first half, I would say.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but
totally.
what
Burnley
what
had this tactic of long balls. They got the ball through
yeah,
Goodmanson and McNeil, and they'll just pop the crosses off from just after the crossing the midfield halfway line, and they found Chris Wood quite a lot of times. Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes. They found them through the long balls, and Liverpool were just Liverpool felt like a disaster was just waiting to happen. But fortunately, they squandered it off. Yeah, and one offside, unlucky for Burnley, offside goal. So yeah, all in all, Burnley had a lively start as we would have expected from them. But yeah, what happened in the second half? Second half, what exactly went wrong for Burnley in the second half?
okay. Like let me just continue, like finish this off. Like firstly, like what happened. Let me just finish with the first half. So what
Yeah,
happened
yeah,
was like Burnley could have been like 2-0 up actually,
right.
but what happened
Ha,
was like their strikers were absolutely not clinical. I would say they didn't like catch the ball and hold or
right.
something. They didn't have interplay between them. Even in 2v2 situation, we should see like 2 to 3 goals from top class
Yes,
players, like we saw
totally,
for France between Mbappe, Benzema, or what we see among other top class teams.
totally.
But here it lacked. So coming to the second half, like let's talk about the first goal of Liverpool before we go into the second half. Like I would say that was one hell of a thing. Like
Yeah, Diego Jota,
from
first half,
yeah,
18 minutes, Jota gets, sorry, it was a brilliant counter attack, and Simikas just takes the ball, runs as he does over that flank. Simikas was good. Simikas was brilliant over the two halves, as considering that he's a cheap replacement for Andy Robertson. He gets the ball, he drives it forward, and then releases the cross so early, and it was a pure just measured out cross to Jota, and we know Jota is so good with his head, and he wasn't going to miss that. Jota, he was totally unmarked, a pure striker's goal, I'll say. Jota, he it was something of Cavani-esque, I'll say. The movement of Cavani we see in the box, making things look simple. It was something of that sort by Jota, totally unmarked, leaves his man marker down and gets the ball from Simicas. It was a pure direct ball to Simicas' head, and there's no way Nick Pope is saving that one. Brilliant goal,
absolutely. I would just say like it has to be practiced in the training ground.
right?
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Diego
totally.
Jota just perfected his run, and Simicas knew that Diego Jota was going to be there.
Yeah.
Like he was behind. He was behind. He was behind. I think me was here
Yeah. Ben Me
probably
and
when he
Tarkovsky.
when me was here and Tarkowski was a bit ahead of him.
Yeah.
So what happened was like he just got in between that. Like
Right.
before the ball was released, he was here, but he just got in between them, and Benvi was slow to catch him.
Right.
He just didn't
Yeah.
realize that a ball would be coming to him
Yeah. Yeah.
in that
Exactly.
position, and that absolute clinical finish from Jota.
Exactly. Clinical. Both the wing backs, both the wing backs of Liverpool, Tsimikas and Trent Alexander, and a wonderful game. Kept the clean sheet, tracked back, and of course delivered loads of crosses as we expect from Liverpool on the from the Liverpool wing backs and full backs. Yeah, that
We
was the
have to
first.
mention like Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was also delivering quite great crosses,
Great
and
crosses.
also and like what I would say like Burnley were missing out. It was I would say rather uh, a defensive setup. Like they were just positionally marked. They didn't man
Man,
mark
man.
any
Yeah,
of the Liverpool players. So you see like one the goal which Salah got offside.
yeah.
So I think Salah would have scored two goals from there
Haha, right.
with the space he got.
Yeah,
From here he just curved it in the ball. He curved the ball in this position around.
right, right.
So like this you can't give Salah this much of space.
Very
In
unlucky
that
for
sense, like
Salah to
that's a
not score today. Even though he had that one opportunity, but other than that, I think he was kind of shut down by the Burnley defense. He didn't get as many clear chances as he would have wanted to, cut in through that wing, as we've always seen him do. Drop that shoulder and then cut
yeah.
inside, and then yeah, he got those opportunities, but I felt that all those opportunities to score that typical Salah's goal from here to curve it into the net were from outside the box, which was quite far away. So yeah, a good job on Burnley for shutting down Salah on that wing. But again, the amount of
Yeah.
crosses that Liverpool were pouring in from the wing backs situation, they couldn't handle it. So yeah, Salah had a much quieter game than we would have expected, especially after the first game week. Yeah, but yeah, that was Liverpool's game. Burnley completely, I think, got overran in the second half. They were totally overran in the midfield. Jota, sorry, not Jota, Henderson, Nebi Keita, and Harvey Elliott. They all came to life in the second half. Harvey Elliott, beautiful runs down that flank. I'll say he was just that be
Like
just behind Salah.
absolutely, like when Salah was actually trying to play in the striker, like moving in. So
Right.
Harvey Elliott was like getting into his space, like in the half spaces, you would say. Like he was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
getting into the half spaces
Yeah, Virgil
in
van
the
Dijk
half
would
space.
release the ball from the cross field to Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott runs down the flank, then passes it off to Salah. This was a common theme throughout the match. Just Salah is unlucky to get that goal. But yeah, Mane was another player who looked lively down that left flank. Sadio Mane, where he was totally tormenting the Burnley defense with his pace and his positioning, just like Jota. So well done to him too. We are expecting a great season out of Sadio Mane after a relatively very quiet season last time out. He has this on and off relationship with seasons in Liverpool. We all know that. So yeah, he might be on for something this time. But again, Jota, got to talk about his consistency. 2 games, 2 goals, with the threat of being substituted by Firmino every game. He's just taking up the pressure and delivering. So yeah, it's good that competition is delivering out for Jurgen Klopp in the right way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I would say, like Jota did a great thing. Jota did one thing which Bobby Firmino does absolutely best. Like he drops down, and
Right,
Jota was absolutely doing that. He was playing as a second striker.
playing as a
He
second
just
striker.
yeah like just Salah got in for the crosses from Elliot on Alexander Arnold, and Jota was like right there for the cut.
Right,
Like if Salah is cut off, then Jota can just tap in with the cut
surely,
from the cutting side from these two
surely,
players.
surely. In the second half, it was very untypical of the Clarets. The Burnley defense. They kind of fell off. Not their usual. I assume them. They always
Yeah.
tend to be
Burnley
rather
like
organized at the back. They were not quite so. They were really threatened
Burnley
at
were
the point.
Burnley was absolutely shaking the second half. Like they
Yeah,
were just playing loose balls out there. Like their
right,
passing was not even consistent. Like
right,
they just couldn't create attack. And Liverpool just grew into the game. Like they the more they play, the more flamboyant they become.
right.
Like absolutely fire was there. In like I would just say Naby Keita. Like he was just all over the pitch.
All over
Like
the
from
pitch. Totally agreed.
all over the pitch. Like from here to here. Like I just cannot say how many places Naby Keita has been. Like I saw in the left, on the right, center, then from in the middle, and then like taking shots from here.
Right.
So Naby Keita was all over the pitch.
This was the player that Liverpool paid, those bucks to Leipzig for. This was a Nevi Kita they wanted, running down the pitch as if he was on wings drinking Red Bull. Uh, yeah, that was a great show by Nevi Kita. Competition to Thiago too came on. We saw Thiago and Bobby Firmino come down in the last. Simicas went off with a knock. So, but anyways, we are expecting Robertson now. It's a very dicey situation for Klopp with Simicas providing those juicy crosses and Robertson back to full fitness, possibly to start against Chelsea, a big game next week. So it would be
I
really
would
interesting.
say I would say like that Klopp has got some real headache, and
Yeah,
I would say that it's actually good for Liverpool because like Robertson will get that consistent push. Like there will be
yeah,
a competition in the team, so that is actually great. Like
yeah.
you see,
Something
like
that we
Naby
see
Keita is
from
not
Alex
a
Telles
great.
and Luke Shaw.
Absolutely, like you see, like Naby Keita doesn't wasn't starting every game for Liverpool, and he wasn't a regular starter. But what he
Right.
displayed today out there, I don't think Thiago or like Fabinho
Nobody
would be
can.
getting a chance like to
Totally.
replace him.
Totally. Agreed. Yeah, good show. Good show even by the defense, as we say. Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk. Though I think he was not up to his usual best in the
Yeah,
starting because of the long balls that he wasn't able to, he and Joel Matip, though they are the tall, centre backs that Liverpool have, and they're the ones to fortify the Liverpool defense. But Allison saved Liverpool's ass. I don't know how many times with this, quick thinking coming out of the, when Burnley would release the
absolutely,
ball with those long balls, Allison was very quick to react, even coming out of his box to clear those balls. So that's
absolutely.
Allison,
I would
we
say like slow reaction, absolutely slow reaction from Burnley midfield and Burnley strikers. Like
right.
strikers were just absolutely like they got the balls. Like there cannot be anything more they could be given.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have only
totally.
two defenders, and in some situations, what happened was when Matip goes with the ball, like and then Liverpool is just exposed to this those counters, like
Right.
just those long balls, and this Liverpool is exposed, but Burnley just couldn't take any advantage of that.
Totally. They could have easily been 2-0 up before even going 1-0 down. So it
Yeah,
could have been
before
a really different game after that. But yeah, that's why this big six, and then the rest of the teams. That's the difference. The clinical finishing in the final third. So yeah, we expect a great job by Sean Dyche, nevertheless, on still having created so many opportunities at Anfield. Away an away game at a full capacity. Anfield is never
oh,
ever
okay, so we didn't talk about that. Like that was
brilliant.
absolutely one of the best moment I would say. Like
Yeah,
starting of the match, Anfield back to its full capacity,
yeah,
and like
totally. That's
the current
something the
situation, like
supporters a
that's
year.
something.
It's after
Like,
452 days. If I'm not wrong, so that's a long wait for the Scousers to see their Reds thumping back and now not walking alone. So yeah, a great fixture to start the weekend off with. I'll totally say yeah, great match, ooh, great intensity, taking nothing away from Sean Dyche and his men. Burnley now find themselves two losses from two games. Liverpool, on the other hand, sitting top of the table right now, two wins from two games. Let's see how the rest of the weekend goes, and looking forward to completing this game week and then bringing you even more insights and tactical analysis and chit chats about the football games, EPL, any league that you want us to cover. Totally comment down in the comment section and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. See you next week, game week. This was quite an informative session. Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely sure. Yeah. Like, bye.
Bye.
recording